The eighth episode of the season 1 finale of The Chosen is an hour-long slog that builds up to John chapter 4, The Woman at the Well. After beginning with a clip of Dallas Jenkins patting himself on the back for the previous episode, which I also reviewed, episode 8 of The Chosen wraps up many of the plots from season 1. We see Jesus heal Man Candy Simon's mother-in-law, an event that was long foreshadowed but oft ignored. But most of the first 40 minutes or so focuses on the most banal of plots, such as who will take care of Matthew's dog and how will the Romans cope without him. And that's before getting into the major deviations from Scripture in their creative liberty. In the first season of The Chosen, the Romans already have Jesus on their radar and have made him a suspect to bring in for questioning, a major deviation from Scripture. Additionally, the show's misinterpretation of Nicodemus as rejecting Jesus' invitation to be one of his disciples, while yet still also being supportive when a one-dimensional rabbi confronts him about his inaction when Jesus claimed that the Son of Man has the authority to forgive sins. Jesus would then say that Nicodemus came so close to following Jesus before departing town with his 8 disciples, the chief of whom is Mary Magdalene. Upon arriving in Samaria, Jesus sends the 8 disciples, led by Mary Magdalene, into town to buy food, while he waits for the woman at the well to arrive. John 4 is stretched to cover about 15 minutes of screen time, of which major deviations unfold. For starters, a lot more dialogue is added. Instead of saying, "Sir, I perceive you are a prophet," the woman at the well is dejected and borderline sarcastic in acknowledging Jesus as a prophet. She then proceeds to have an argument with Jesus about Jews and Samaritans, in which Jesus does reply with John 4:21 through 26. However, it isn't until Jesus starts naming the ex-husbands that the woman at the well finally believes. This, again, is a major deviation from Scripture because The Chosen ultimately decided the dialogue in John 4 was unconvincing enough to depict in television, so they instead added a lot more to it. This is a tacit rejection of the sufficiency of Scripture. The woman at the well departs from the well, skipping and telling all what she saw as the 8 disciples, led by Mary Magdalene, reunite with Jesus. The Chosen then has verses 31 through 34 as dialogue, but stops Jesus mid-paragraph so that Jesus and the 8 disciples can walk off into the sunset like Clint Eastwood. It's worth noting that in the Bible, Jesus and the 12 disciples are waiting for the men of the village to come to the well and hear the good news, as there was plenty of daylight left. Overall, the first season of The Chosen was a dreadful viewing experience that focused way too much on banalities and made rather stupid deviations from Scripture that dig them into very unbiblical holes.